Hi, I'm Alex, the developer of the mapping tools for BeamNG. Today I want to show you a new feature. We can generate terrain since the last version from geographic data, OpenStreetMap data, elevation data like that. And in the new version, I tried to implement building generation out of OpenStreetMap data. If you're not familiar with it, I will show it to you. OSM2 World. I think I use this OSM2 World code, which I ported to my system. I go to this demo page just to show you how it looks. So if I, for example, go to Berlin, Alexanderplatz. It looks like this. Of course, the buildings are very simplified. They are completely generated by tags, which the buildings are tagged. So you can have some experience tagging in OpenStreetMap so that you can get nice shapes for churches, for example. You see here, stuff like that. It's very simplified. It's of course not really game ready. So if you want to have a nice developer-like map, like you have it in BeamNG in the vanilla maps, you don't get this, but I guess it's a quite nice thing to get a first impression of the place you want to make a map for. And so I show you how we get these buildings into BeamNG. Now, first of all, we need, I think I do, oh, let's do Berlin. Why not? We do Berlin, or should we do New York? I'm not sure about that. I think we do New York. We do New York. We make it with New York. So we use the wonderful tool from Nikki, mapng.com. This tool is made for downloading elevation data, height maps for BeamNG, to get an impression of the place you want to build your map with. You can preview 3D data, stuff like that. We just need the elevation data, GeoTIFF files from MapNG for our project now. So I use a 4K setting. I want to have a 4K map. Here you can say where you want to have the elevation data source from. So the best data source, I tell it immediately, is this GPXZ thing. You need an API key for it. You can get it for free, and you have 100 requests a day. So that should be enough for mapping projects. So I made a key already. It's in here, and I search for New York. Yes, that's it. Here we have New York, Manhattan, and we will choose Manhattan. I guess it's a good place. So you can see how you can change the boundaries, the bounding box you want to have. So I do it like this. I guess it's okay. I do it like this. So I won't have this street in. So that's okay. That's enough for us. So I've chosen the bounding box. And now I go up here and say generate data. That takes a while because it fetches all the tiles from the API, from this GPXZ thing. You see, it's downloading stuff. And wait a moment, it's done. So it does a lot of things. You can download the satellite imaginary, stuff like that too. But I just want to have this geodata thing, this GeoTIFF. This is a file format my tool can read. Yes, I just click download. You see it's 75 megabyte, downloaded already. And now we are done with Nikki's tool. We go to the create level wizard here in my tool and say we make a new level. We want to have New York as level. New York. So the first thing is the level path. Yes. Normally you shouldn't have spaces in here. I just copy it. If you go to the level display name, this is the name you see in BeamNG in the map selection. I copy in New York and perhaps city. So you see the space was automatically removed here so that the name convention is good for a path on the hard disk, in your directory and stuff like that. So it's important not to put any city signs in, yes, characters in. So I use A. It's just important for, I guess, perhaps automatic traffic cars and license plates, stuff like that. Okay, I leave everything empty here. It's not important. And now we need a kind of reference map where we take the materials from. I go with East Coast USA. New York's East Coast, I guess, will fit quite okay. The terrain size is not important here at this moment. Can leave it as is. We change it later. And we say initialize level. And now my tool fetches all the important data to create a new level from. This is the first step of the wizard. Now we go to select terrain materials here on the top bottom right. Takes a couple of seconds, and then you see all the terrain material from East Coast USA. We take them all. Yes, we take them all. Copy them. And I would like to have a nice material for the residential places, the boardwalk, stuff like that, because we don't want to have grass there in the city as default material, stuff like that. We need something nice, paved perhaps, and East Coast doesn't have anything for it. We have asphalt, a lot of grass, a lot of dirt, a lot of forest. We even don't have concrete here. So I decide to take a material from another level. And now I don't take, I just deselect everything. If you deselect the materials, you have the possibility to select another source. So press here. And now I don't go to a vanilla level. I go to a level which is called, I tell you later, it's from one of the BeamNG guys who makes beautiful maps as hobby projects as well. And I choose it from the mods folder now, so that you can see that you are not dependent on vanilla maps only. So level mods, it's a repo mod, and it's the Sanok repo here. Open it. I show you how the map is really called when we open BeamNG later. I don't have it in mind. Okay, it has to unpack it, of course. Needs a bit of time. And now we have all these materials. Guys from Poland, did you see it's a very Polish, but I have a note here. It's called Kostka 6. We need Kostka 6. Yes, a lot of materials in there. Kostka 3, 4, Kostka 6. I want to have this one. It's really good. So because it's kind of paved sidewalk. So I just take this. Nothing else. I copy the selected one too. I hope it works. And I didn't train for this video. I just do it instantly now and never tried this, copying this material here. So now we have enough. And I go to forest brushes. Oh, okay, we have the forest brushes of Cosca now and not of East Coast because it was the last thing loaded. I think it doesn't matter. I just copy it. If we need it for New York, I don't know. So copy selected. Copy brushes, yes. So it copies the forest brushes now to our new level so that we have some forest. We don't need that much forest for New York City. I click continue to assets. Okay, here are some collada errors in the level. So we don't care because we don't copy any assets here. We just skip this step. And now we come to the most important step, the terrain generation. And this is really kind of Swiss knife, a lot of possibilities here, but we keep it very simple. We go try to make it straightforward, but we need some time now here. So we don't have presets because we just start. So we select our GeoTIFF file, which we downloaded from mapng.com. So I click on select files and it must be in downloads from today. It will be this file. You can put on zip files now immediately without unzipping them before. The tool does everything. One great improvement is that you now can import XYZ files as well. Sometimes you get from geolocation sites, you don't get GeoTIFF files, but this XYZ cloud point files. It's pure ASCII with coordinates. I have no clue exactly how it works, but it works. And for example, I just implemented it because I wanted to make a map from Bremen, where the BeamNG developers and the headquarter of BeamNG is. And for Bremen, you only get good DEM data in this XYZ format. And then it's an 8 gigabyte file. It takes a couple of time to load it into this tool. But that's not important right now. So we loaded this GeoTIFF file here. You see it. And we have a map of New York here on the right side. And we want now exactly show where we want to make our terrain. So I guess we wanted 4K. I told you can change it here. If you have big GeoTIFF files and you have the exact coordinates of the place you want to have, you can enter the coordinates here, but we don't need that. We go to 4K, and you see it's quite okay. We have Manhattan on it. We don't want to cut this road here on the right side, so I do it like this. I guess that's okay. Say apply selection. Here you can see some info, so we don't have to change anything here. You see the terrain size. You see the max height we have on the map. New York City is quite flat. 44 meters is the maximum difference from low to high. And we have a base height of minus 16 meters. It's because of the sea, of the ocean, I guess. They made it like that here. Don't take a look at these properties. Just want to have building generation, like I told you. We go here and we say enable buildings. And we want to select the buildings, or we have to select the buildings if we want them. And I click on the select buildings button, and now we have to wait a little bit because the data must be fetched from OpenStreetMap with the Overpass API. Somehow I need a little bit of time to get the data. Nikki's tool, mapng.com, is quite fast. I don't know why it's faster than my tool, but I don't care. But I have a lot of reload mechanisms if the Overpass API doesn't answer, because very often it's really under hard stress. But now you see it loaded the OpenStreetMap data now. You don't see anything on the map right now, but you see here all the building types which are available for the crop we use from the GeoTIFF. So all these building types are available. They are a lot, and I don't want to make selections right now. I just want to have them all. So I click on select all here down the list. And you see we have 12,000 objects selected. So we select them. It's a lot. And you can imagine that if you would place 12,000 single DAE files, DAE buildings, to the map, that the draw calls will go up like mad and your frames per second go low like mad. So they're really getting bad with this massive amount of buildings. So therefore, I have this special feature here. It's called building clustering. Yes, where you can say I make a kind of grid out of our bounding box, and every building in the grid will be combined to one DAE file. So you can choose the cluster size. You see, if I would take 128 meters, we still could have up to 1,000 DAE files. You can put it off. I told you, not good for the draw calls. You can make it on smaller places, or if you are really relying on having the buildings single, so that you perhaps can use it as placeholders, which you want to replace with real buildings, you can do that. Yes, because you can do it, of course, in the world editor, but you can't. With 12,000 buildings, you can't play. You have 10 frames per second or something like that, or 15. I guess I get 15 or 20 with my machines, but it's a very fast one. So, okay. I would say we got 250 meters here. Then we have 256 clusters. That's quite okay. We take this. Then we have different lot levels for the buildings. So we have a very simple lot level, only walls and roofs. So we really generate these lot levels into the DAE files. So lot is working. Then you have a lot 1 with textured windows, and then you have lot 2 with 3D windows. So they have really a frame and stuff like that. And doors. We want to have this, of course, because it looks best. If you have a very potato machine, perhaps you would say we take a lower lot. Yes, this is the one possibility. Then you have a bias if you don't like how the lots pop in. Yes, you must know, of course, the lot is calculated on the grid size here. So you have uh, one DAE file with a lot of buildings in. I have a kind of formula which calculates a nice lot. So leave it on bias 1. But if you want to have the lot kick in later or earlier, you have to change the selection here. And if your machine is so potato that you even can't play nice with this lot settings, or you want to have lot 2, but your machine can't handle it, you can, of course, kick in a null detail. For example, null detail 1 would be enough, but then, of course, you have this thing that buildings which are further away aren't rendered, so they are not visible, and then they pop in if you come nearer, and this is not a very nice effect. But I build it in for very hard cases, or if you do 8K terrain or stuff like that. So we can leave this as is now. Now the next step, of course, we have to do a lot of stuff here. So first of all, we have to get a feeling what we have for OSM data for New York. We have a lot of it, of course. First of all, we have to ask ourselves, what do we want for default material? We are in a city. Should we take now this nice paved thing as default material? I would perhaps say yes, but I would check first. This is this Cosca thing I copied, what we have for OSM shapes available. Because perhaps we have a nice residential thing here. Take a look. There are so many. There are so many. You see all these things we can choose for land use. So is there residential? Recreation ground, yes, residential. So this is residential, yes, it's not enough. You see, then you have this retail thing and even traffic islands and stuff like that. Oh, and we don't have the time now to check everything. So then I would say, no, I don't do that. That here, we just put it on top. It will be our default material. It's just for presentation now. So move it to top. You know, the material on top will be rendered every time you don't have a layer mask for a special region. So and now we just go through dirt. I would say dirt. Do we have dirt roads? We have dirt roads in New York City? I don't know. We take a look. Do we have dirt roads? So I go to roads here and lines, which are for polygons. And do we have track? No, we don't have tracks. So we don't need it right now. I cancel it. Forest. Do we have kind of wood forest? Then it goes in shapes. We have wood. Not that much. See on the other side on Coney Island. Is it? No, it's Brooklyn already, isn't it? Yes. There's a little bit of wood. It's not that much, but we have kind of forest. There's a forest thing. A little bit over here on top. Yes. Okay. We take it in. Other things with wood and forest. I don't think so. Okay. We take 19 features and say it's okay. Grass. So this is the grass. I don't know exactly. The grass from East Coast, of course. The most normal grass is grass free, I guess. It's without flowers. Grass 2 is this one with the yellow poppies. And grass is with white and yellow poppies, I guess. More white. What should we take for default grass? I would say we take default grass free now. So now we search things with grass here. We have grass, okay? Yes, we take this. There's quite a lot of grass. And perhaps we take it for flower bed, we take something else, because there we can take something with flowers. Traffic island, I don't know. Traffic island with grass. No, we take the plaster stuff there. Perhaps, yes. Okay. So we have a lot of other things here. What is shingle? We take something else for shingle. What is shore? Oh, my English is so bad. Okay. Seems something at the water. Okay. I know in Brooklyn you have this. Sure. No, I know what shoal is because I was there already. Okay. Good. And we have wetland. We take other things for that. Okay. This is our grass 3. And now I would say we take the yellow grass for flower beds. There are not that many flower beds, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Take it. So grass 3, grass 4, no. Mud, no. Rocks. Is there anything with rocks? Bare rock, 117. Okay, take bare rock. Why not? Zack. So, okay, rocky dirt, I don't know. Asphalt, we do roads with it, with asphalt. But dirt grass could be quite nice for this shoal stuff. And however it was called here. For scrub, we take for scrub. I do take scrub, shingle, and shovel together. Why not? So, and wetland. Bam. Take it. Forest floor we don't need. Rocks large. Rocks large is quite nice. It's the most stupid name they ever given to material because it's called large. You think, oh, large rock, but no, it's this things you have in the riverbeds and stuff like that. The small, small, tiny rocks. So we take this exactly then for water, so that we have something different underground for water. So surface. Yeah, I told you my English is bad. So, okay, where's water? Here's water. So everything blue now gets this stuff, this material. Okay. So far, so good. Now I put all the materials which are not roads above. So more of asphalt? No. Okay. I take this ground model asphalt for roads. And we keep it simple. We have perhaps 2 different road types or something. Now, I start with the biggest roads now. Okay. So I go to OSM shapes again. And we just select roads and lines and take a look what we have. We have a lot of things here. So motorway is of course nice. Big problem, of course, is that I don't have bridge and tunnel generation at the moment. I will really do that in one of the next features, but it's really complicated to do, especially for New York. And yes, I must make a pause because I get a call. Wait a moment. Yes, I had a phone call with my brother. Now I'm back. So let's take a look. Okay, we chosen the motorway. What primary? I have to get a feeling for it. So we have the motorway. I would say I do motorway and primary the same size right now. It's okay. And then we take all the other stuff. So I select these features and I say enable road smoothing because we want smooth roads in New York. Yes, and what we tape highways. Highway sounds good. So I don't know exactly. They have 2 lanes most of the time. Okay, I choose a. What do we take? I have no feeling. I want to automate this too with OSM data, but I have no clue exactly how to do it right now. But I will get some ideas later. Perhaps I say the road width. This is this place which is smoothed. Yes. I take 12 meters and I say for the motorways, perhaps a road surface, a painted road, 10 meters. And for the spline generation, because I love to have it a bit narrower, I perhaps take 9 meters. I don't know. 9 meters. So, yes, because we can generate the splines. I told you in an earlier video for BeamNG, and you can give a width. I prefer to have it smaller than the asphalt painting and the material painting, because if you have material like grass, stuff like that, it always grows into your road and then the markings are somehow hidden. I don't like that. So, okay, but that's okay. Okay, that's okay for our main roads now. And for me, the ordering of the roads is quite important because you know that every material which comes next paints over the material which was before, and OSM data is not that precise. So I have the most important roads always on the bottom of the list. Yes, therefore, so. And now we take all the secondary and tertiary roads. Let's take a look. So select those M shapes. Okay, roads, lines again. So we take the secondary roads. I don't know if I should take now the links in, because sometimes it really renders bad because we don't have bridges right now. I told you most of the time the links are ramps. So I leave them out at the moment, I guess. Yes, I will leave them out now. Secondary. And then we have this. I just want to do two asphalt types now. So therefore I put them all together. I want to finish the video sometime. So secondary, tertiary, not that many tertiary roads, and residential. They are a lot, of course. This is the reason why the generation of the terrain needs a couple of minutes, perhaps 5 on my machine, or 6, I don't know exactly. And on slower machines, it can take 10 to 15 minutes on a 4K map with so many roads, because I smooth them all. Yes, and the algorithm for road smoothing and junction smoothing is complicated and still not really finished. I have still some bumps because the OSM data sometimes is really crazy and it's hard to get it nice. This should be enough for now. I select those features, enable road smoothing again, and we make these roads perhaps a bit smaller. I take this rural road thing here, 9, 7. Yeah, I take 10, 8, and then 7 here for the Mastersplines. Okay. I don't want to have more settings. I have the roads done, and we can refine it later. If I forgot something, it's just the first shot. No problem. So now I press generate terrain, and because it's lasting 4 or 5 minutes, yes. Now important step. For having nice textures on the buildings, roof textures, plaster textures, concrete textures, stuff like that for the buildings, I decided to go really to be as much compatible with this OSM2 World open source project as possible, and therefore we have to download the style pack of this tool. Yes, it's 400 megabyte. I know you all hate it if I pollute your hard disks, but there could be stuff deleted out. But I want to have it completely if I start adding more features from OSM2 World to my tool, then I'm happy to have it. Yes, so you could say no, I don't want to download it. Then you get placeholder PNG files with a solid color, and you can do something yourself with it, of course. But now we download it. I'm happy that I have a quite fast internet here. Almost done. 400 megabytes. That's it. Okay. When we press continue now, it starts generating the terrain. So I told you it needs a little bit of time. I press pause now, and I'm back in a sec. Okay, the tool just finished terrain generation. If you are in wizard mode like we are now, so doing the whole process of generating the level, copying all that stuff, and only then you get this dialog box at the end of the first terrain generation. I changed the process a bit because there were some difficulties that if the first terrain generation is finished, the level is copied from my temp folder to the levels user folder of BeamNG, so that it's immediately available. So you don't have to press a copy button like before. It's immediately copied. But what's really important here, do what what's written here, save your preset. Because if you want to change things later with this terrain and fine tune it, you will be happy to have this preset and don't have to enter all the data again. So, and adjust the parameters. So I click to export preset. Yeah, now we see we're in the unpacked levels folder where the temp folder is. It will be deleted if you start the app the next time. Don't have to care about that. I put all my presets in one folder here. You see I have a lot of presets. And I make a new one and I call it preset New York. So folder is selected. I say select folder, and now the preset is saved. And you can press the finish wizard button here. We stay now in this screen so that we can refine now and don't have to reload the preset. In the older version, it went to a kind of summary page. You can do that still if you click Finish Wizard here, but we leave it open as is. Yes, and now we start BeamNG, and I hope it worked because there can still be a lot of bugs inside my code. I debugged a lot already, but nobody's perfect, especially not me. Yesterday I was at a pub, and today I will be tired and a slight hangover. Okay, so I had to celebrate my new version, of course. So we go to free roam. First of all, we take a look if we find New York City here. Yes, it is here. And I want to show you this other map here, DK28, Zanok, Poland. You will find it in the repo. It's really good. This guy is the master of terrain materials, I tell you. It's a lot of handmade terrain materials in this level. It's really cool. But we open our New York City level now. So, and now, of course, the next point where we have to wait a couple of time. In the first step, it generates the terrain material cache. This lasts a little bit, depending on the amount of materials you really use on your map. And what really needs a lot of time is this conversion of the DAE meshes to CDAE meshes. So this kind of cache, which can be loaded faster by the game. This is this step. I have 256 really big DAE files now, I guess. And therefore it might be a bit slow. Perhaps I just press pause, but I want to explain one thing. It really can be, if your memory is low or stuff like that, that the game crashes at this phase. Don't mind, doesn't matter, just restart, because what was converted was converted, and he really starts at the point of files where it isn't converted. So even if it crashes 3 times, you will somehow convert it. And if it's converted, then the level really starts up fast. So I press pause. Okay, I'm back. Really, this generation of the CDAE files lasts 3 times as long as the generation of the level, or 4 times, I don't know. I could cook coffee and stuff like that. Or do you say brew coffee? I don't know. So now we are in. If you enter the level, then it takes some time to texture cook the BeamNG files to DDS. It is done as well. So now we are in the level, and we'll try to see what happened. You see some buildings and some funny stuff here. I don't know exactly what it is in front of us. Not in the game. I just move out. Did you see? We have some nice buildings here. I decided to take New York because the skyscrapers are more impressive. Berlin has way better OSM tech data, so for the buildings, but New York is quite well too. So sometimes if you go to countryside place, you will be a bit disappointed if you go to your village or small city and you have only really ugly blocks because nobody tagged meaningful things in. So yeah, you see, works. Faster scrolling here. No, it's perhaps too fast like this. And you see, you even see the holes of the twin towers here. So it works quite well. Of course, it's not perfect right now, but you see that the lot system works. So if I go back and forth and you take a look, we have 3 lot states here. I tell you something at the end of the video about the technical stuff, how you could, for example, flip textures, exchange textures or stuff like that. But first of all, we take a look, how's the performance? So it's quite smooth. I take a look at the frames per second and it's still, you see I have a fast computer with a 4090 graphics card and but I have more than 200 frames per second. And even if I go in, yes, it depends, of course, on the angle you look at the buildings. If you have a lot of buildings, it goes a bit down, but it's quite smooth. Works really well. The lot system is okay. So you really don't need this null detail thing. Yes, for 4K here and the whole lot of buildings. Really nice. Let's go back to the car. How drive the roads? Are they smooth enough? Problem here, of course, is sometimes you have tunnels, stuff like that in New York, and bridges, and at this places you could have bumps, or you just can't drive. You see the plaster here? Worked quite well. Of course, it looks a bit jaggy because of the paint system of BeamNG. You can try to do something with the splines. First of all, yes, we go to the splines first. Let me make a test here. I open the levels folder. We have to find our New York folder. So many test levels here. It's New York. Then we have this folder from my generation tool and the splines folder inside. And we have 3.7 megabytes of spline data. That's a lot. So I open it. And you see if we have all the splines visible, now the frame rate is really bad. So therefore I've included this eye symbol here. And then only the spline which you select is visible, and then it stays decent with the frame rate. Before the front of the car. So, and now we try to make a road. Yes, we still have this edges, but therefore you have in this road spline tool possibility to widen it a bit, you see, like this, and then it's quite okay. Perhaps my meter in the spline tool meter less was too much. Half a meter would be perhaps enough. Just as a reminder, it was this thing here. If you add the material for the roads, you see this road label here with road smoothing on. I put here 9 meters and 10 meters road surface width, which is painted. And 950 would have been better here. So, okay. But it's quite okay. Doesn't look that bad. You see, this is a lot level 2. We have decent windows and even a door. So, yes, it's not the nicest texture, but it's a start, you know. And of course, now everything's plastered here, but you can train paint whatever you want. I just took it here. You see, it might be parking lot or whatever, garage, what goes in here, and the roads end at this block. So we don't have everything we need in OSM data. OSM data. So now I show you. Now I have all this information about the splines. You see how this grid system works? Oh, it's so slow. No, it's because you can't deselect the splines if you are out of the spline tool. They still stay. I don't know how to switch this off. But I wanted to show you that how the buildings are clustered together and what you are interested in perhaps as modders. How does it work with the materials? These materials are coming from this OCM2 World style package we downloaded. I convert them on the fly to PNG. They are all JPEG. I convert them to PNG with a name pattern for the texture cooker. And I put them beside the JPEG files so that on the next run, it doesn't have to convert them again. So first takes a look, do I have a DDS there? If not, do I have a PNG there? Then take this. If not, take the JPEG. That's the rule. So the conversion of the files is only done once. Interesting is, of course, this color system, because sometimes you see you have a red walls, sometimes gray walls or whatever. Therefore, of course, I have to make new materials, you see here. But it's quite simple because the texture is the same. It's just another color. Yes, exactly. I would like to use instance colors, of course, but this does only work if you render or generate the DAE one by one. For smaller countryside places, it's perfectly fine. There I use instance color, and then you have only one material with instance color for the roofs for the walls. But here I have to make different materials, but doesn't matter. I think it's okay. So yeah, what else can I say? We have New York City here with a lot of roads. Of course, I have to find a solution with water because, like you see here, sometimes you have dam data where you have really minus values of 50 meters. So then you really have a slope into the water, which is very nice for BeamNG if you make then the water pane, but very often you don't have it. It's more or less zero level then, or a little bit below zero. And I have to implement a feature where you can say if we have water, somehow uh, make the material go down. So with a smoothing algorithm at the edges, something like that. I have to implement, but it's not that easy. But it's on my list. I will do that. But even if you go with a water pane here, it's not too bad. Yes, I want a water pane. Put the water pane here. Change the selector. Take the water pane. You see it's now at 0. You can perhaps take 0.5 or something, or even a little bit more, or perhaps 1. We fake it a bit, the big flood. So, and then to get a better feeling, you should. I'm not a water expert. I find this tool so complicated with this thousands of parameters. But what's quite nice is if you make the water a bit more dark, for example, 0.5, and the depth perhaps only 1 meter. So it's kind of shininess. I don't know exactly how it works. So and then, of course, you could give it a bit more color, perhaps something in this range or whatever you see, and it's looking a bit better then. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? So let's make a fly over the city here. I would like to have Central Park, but then we would have to make an 8K map. I didn't try that with a lot of buildings like this, or but perhaps it works. I don't know. Here's some green, you see. Here the tagging is quite okay, quite nice. I don't know the places exactly. And some buildings are really nice tagged. You see, this one doesn't look too bad, huh? Or somewhere we had a church, or somewhere we had something with pillars, which really looked good, but I don't know exactly where it was. I guess it was somewhere here. Somewhere here? Ah, here. Here you see. Okay, the textures are a bit crappy, but it's okay. Funny thing is that this OSM2 World package uses a combined texture for uh, ORM, so for metalness, roughness, and ambient occlusion. And I had to divide them again because BeamNG doesn't support that. So I made 3 textures out of 1 so that we get really PBR materials here. This looks good as well. Whatever it is. Yes. So I don't want to make too many test drive stuff here. I just want to show you a little bit from the technical part now. Out. So my outlook. First of all, I just want to tell you what my next plans are. As I told you, bridges and tunnels is the thing I want to have. So I have kind of algorithm already in my code, but not the DAE generation already. But I have a kind of coordinate system for the bridges already. So how the roads should go. This is done, but I guess I need a lot of time for it. Imagine complex junction systems in New York City with bridges going over bridges over bridges. I don't know exactly how to solve that. Then first of all, I just want to make the road surface for the bridges. So a very plain thing. Then of course I want to make them a bit prettier from the cross section of the bridge building, depending on the length and stuff like that. And of course I want to set the pillars and the poles. They don't, of course, can haven't been generated on roads or buildings and stuff like that. So yes, this is the next thing. And then it's quite nice what you can do with the splines here, but really to make nice road markings with the spline tool for New York City, uh, nice job. 3 months or something, I don't know. And I want to generate it somehow. I'm not sure how to do it exactly, but I think I try to take the road network and make a kind of outline of the road network. And then I paint the outline with road markings. So with the outline markings, the edge markings, and then calculate um, the road markings for the lanes, depending on the data from OSM, because normally in OSM we know how many lanes a road has. So this is my dream. I don't know if it works, but I will try it. So then you have immediately, if you go to the game, you have nice decal roads. So, and of course, then I can generate the AI traffic decal roads as well. So if I'm able to do it, that would be nice. Then of course you have a kind of selection tool, what texture for which road marking and stuff like that. Yes, these are the next big plans. Then still backdrop generation, big DAE file for backdrop so that you can look far away and it looks good and you don't have this island thing. This is what I want to make. Then the generator for the base color textures so that we don't have this harsh edges, jaggy edges everywhere. This is what I want to do. Oh, and a lot of things more. But this are the next on my list. And I will do a small tool which I can do very fast, which checks all the texture cooked DDS files and copies them over to your level, and you can select if you want to keep your PNG files as backup or if they should be deleted. And it will give you a hint where you use PNG files, which could be converted with a texture cooker, but the naming convention is wrong. And then you could, with a button press, change the naming convention and change the names, and then in the next run, the DDS files are created. So, because I hated to go to the temp folder, copy it over, and stuff like that, I want to simplify this process. I think you modders will like it. Yes, this is the outlook. And now I show you how the style thing works, just briefly. So, like BeamNG, my tool has an up data folder as well. You see here's the BeamNG stuff, and here's the BeamNG level cleanup. I have to rename the tool, but problem is my GitHub is called this way, and people know it, and so I think it's not so important. You have this BeamNG level cleanup where I have local data in. Some logs. I don't know. Logs folder is empty. I don't know why. Here is the folder with this default style thing. You downloaded, or I downloaded, or building generation. It's a big one. Yes. You have DAE, 3D models as well inside. I don't know if I use it, but I keep it. If you want to save space, you can delete this folder here. No problem. All the others, and even the locales, I think, no, it's not important, but you can delete the models folder. And there's a texture folder. You see here, for example, the plaster stuff, and you see that I already converted them. You could just replace textures here if you want to. That's the one possibility. This style package comes with a properties file. It's for the Java engine. I can't use it, and it's not so well structured. So here you don't change anything. Yes, but I made a kind of compatible JSON file where you can change everything you want. It's this OSM2 word style JSON. There you find, for example, the materials, and you have a BeamNG section for the special fields I need in BeamNG and stuff like that. And here you can do changes, of course. Yeah, or you just try to exchange the textures in this other folder. You see it in the material in BeamNG. As I told you, click somewhere, take a look at the materials. You will find then, of course, the textures in the style folder in the app data. Okay, other important things. Here's the OSM cache. You can delete it within the application if you want to delete it, because here is all the queries are saved as cache. If you are working longer time on one Tera, you will be happy for it because it doesn't make overpass queries then, because the data is already there. And this is the important thing. Did I forget something? You will tell me if I forget something. Just try it out. You saw it's not that complicated. Perhaps if you start small, take a 1 or 2K map for testing, and then the regeneration doesn't last so long. And if you're happy with the results or the place you found, then you can, of course, always enlarge it to 4K in my tool. Yes. I'll go back to my tool. Like I told you, I just finish it now, close it, for example. And if I open it and we want to change something, no problem. Then you don't go with the wizard, of course, because we already generated the level New York. You immediately go to Generate Terrain. You select the folder where your map is. So yeah, current levels New York. Where's New York? Here's New York. Just open the folder. And of course, you have to import the preset we just saved. Import preset. Put it here, test mapping tools, preset New York. Open the preset and everything is here what we set up. And if you want to exclude some buildings because you don't want to have them, for example, and you just go to enable buildings here and say, okay, I don't want to have this and that. You unclick it. You can change everything. Everything we done in the first step, you can do now and press generate again. What it does is you generate again. It will delete the folders generated before for DAE files and the textures and the mission groups and writes them new. Yes. If you want to just change things on the terrain, so here materials and stuff like that, yes, and you're happy with the buildings, you can, of course, click, you can disable the buildings, generate the terrain from new, and the buildings aren't touched. They are only deleted if you enable it and regenerate it then. Yes. So what's not working right now? I want to have a button where you only can generate the buildings. If you're happy with your terrain and you want to change settings for the buildings, at the moment you have to do everything again, because I don't have the feature right now. I have to insert it again. And I just wanted to show you. Yes. And to show you how it looks in the folder. What am I doing here? So we are in the Levels New York folder, and in the art folder under shapes, you have this empty for mapping tools, empty buildings folder. And there all the generated buildings are in. Yes. You have all the cluster DAE files, and you can see they can really get big. If in a cluster complicated buildings, it's big, but it doesn't matter. Yes, because our lot system is okay. And I can't do anything. I can't optimize them more. They are as optimized as possible, I guess. So, and then you have the textures folder where all the textures go in. And of course, the materials folder, which is quite structured. So you know the thing. Everything is nicely generated. And what always is my first test if I have a new feature, I go and take a look at the logs. Yes. And you won't find any error regarding my tool, just other stuff. So it's really error-free generation of the level. I think this is an important thing to have in mind, that you really do it the BeamNG way and don't introduce errors in the log and in the generation process. I guess that's it for today. I don't do test drives. Nicky said he wants to see me driving through the cities. Then I have to do a little bit more stuff that it looks a bit nicer with the splines. And then I have to go to my rig and perhaps I make kind of video like that. But at the moment, I'm more in the construction and building phase. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hear you soon. I report progress here if I have new stuff for you.